Hey, what's up, Twitter? All right, so this is about going into 2021 realistically, right? Um, not so many jokes on this one, but maybe a few. I don't know. It makes me think of what are reps looking for? Reminder: don't be apologetic. Don't be a fucking asshole, and don't be apologetic. Like, come down the middle where you're strong. Like, what are they looking for? I think that strength, like strength in their clients, that their clients can take it on the chin. They're not little babies. They can take getting their ass kicked. You know, I think other than being immensely talented, I think that's the thing. Like, can they take it? Do they get it? Do they get how hard it's gonna fucking be? And if they don't, it's maybe a pass. You know. And the other thing to realize is I thought of something good. That I don't think people have said yet. I realized my ex. This is after a string of hits, right? And then people say, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about." Go pull up the hits, dude. Like, do I gotta name them all every time? Like, what is there, like 5 or 6 like giant hits? Like, come on. You see my last name. Go look it up yourself. Anyway, that was a little fuck you to the haters. But anyway, for my friends, like, it makes me think that even after that, the string of hits, if I would have said to my ex, once I got signed the first time, what should I expect? And it made me realize, like, hey, my first agent didn't tell me anything about, like, what to expect in my very first meeting. There was no, like, sit down. There was no, like, class. Like, hey, here's how to do a meeting. You do this, you do that, you do that. Here's what to expect. There was none of that. It was just like, hey, you have a meeting on Thursday at 10:30. And it made me think of, you know what? Even if I would have asked my ex at that point, hey, how does a meeting work? What is a general meeting? I think my ex would have literally said, you know what? I have no idea. So you have agents that are huge agents. They already have hits under the belt. Hit movies. Classic hit movies. And if you said, hey, what is a general meeting? How does it work? They would literally be like, you know what? I don't know, because I'd never been to one. Like, they set it up for you, but they don't go on them with you. It's not like they hold your hand. They just set it up, and then boom, there you go. There's your general meeting. Go figure out how to make it work. So it's that kind of stuff. And going back to, that's a lesson that I learned way back when I very first got signed by my first agent ever, which was a modeling agent who sent me out on go-sees, auditions, and I'm going out for commercials and stuff. And, the very first commercial I go out for, I don't even have acting experience. Zero acting experience. And I'm standing before, them, and there's a camera on the table, and they're like, hey, go. And I'm like, well, what do you mean, go? Like, and they're like, hey, picture I'm like, is there a script or something? They're like, no, there's no fucking script. Like, just picture there's a giant cow milk commercial. Picture there's a giant cow that surfs in on a surfboard. Anybody remember that one? A long time ago. Picture there's a giant cow on a surfboard, surfs in, 50-foot cow, and you're amazed to see this cow. And milk, like, go. And so I'm just like, fucking, okay. Oh my God, there's a giant cow. Fucking, that's crazy. you know, and they're like, great, thanks, you know. So it's like my point is you can be in realistic situations like that. You're in front of, casting directors and so forth, and you have no idea what you're doing, and or you're in front of a producer, or you're in front of whomever. You have no idea what you're doing, or you're in front of, whomever, HBO, or who Atlas or whatever, and you're like, oh cool, I see all the posters and everything, but I don't know what's going on. So what do reps want? Like, reps want clients that get that part of it, that they're not going to hold your hand. That's the point there. They're not going to hold your hand. They want clients who can figure it out. Like, whatever, here's the thing, I set it up for you, now that's yours, you go figure it out. Remember, 90%, 10%, you figure out how to make that work. And so I guess that starts with the email queries and so forth. If you're gonna start the queries with like, please help me, like basically like that tone, it just if I'm a rep, I'd be like, not really, not for me. That's what I'd be thinking. There's other scripts out there. There's other writers out there. So mainly that, like mainly come across as a writer, like, hey, I can take my ass getting kicked out there. And the other thing is, I know I'm going to get notes. I know after my manager says, hey, this is perfect, you give that vibe, or you just straight out tell them, like, I know I'm going to get my ass kicked after this. Once we go to the agent, I'm going to get more notes. Once I go to if I get a producer, then I'm going to get more notes. If I get to a studio, then I'm going to get more notes. If I get to a network, then I'm going to get more notes. If I get to a director, then I'm going to get more notes. If I get to an actor or whatever, then I'm going to get more notes. You know what I mean? Like, if I get to a showrunner, then I'm going to get more notes. Like, if they know you know that, and you're okay with it, and you get like, hey, this is a collaborative medium, and you just present that kind of vibe, like, oh yeah, I know it's collaborative. Of course it is. What are they looking for? They're looking for that, They're looking for someone they don't have to babysit. And, they're essentially looking for someone who's not going to be an amateur about it. Looking to always have your ego stroked, that's amateur. Because they won't even think of that. They're used to clients that are seasoned, seasoned clients who are like, oh, I know no one's going to thank me. I already know that. So are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm fine with it. That's not why I'm doing this. So they kind of feel like, hey, why do we need to thank you? If this gets made, I think they kind of think like, if this gets made, then fans will thank you. So why the fuck am I going to thank you? I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to be your fan. So, hey, something to consider. And I say this shit to try to help writers. I'm not saying this shit to try to get writers to give up and all that kind of shit. Like, I guess I have that reputation. Like, he's negative, all this kind of shit. No, I'm not. I'm positive. I'm positive in the sense that I'm saying the negative shit that people won't tell you so that they don't have to be perceived as negative. And then I'm perceived as negative, but I'm trying to help by saying, hey, but this is what they think. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm trying to do is be like, hey, this is what they think. They have told me this. So here you go. And then from there, maybe you can navigate. Maybe you can be like, oh, let me consider that and try to figure out a way around it. Like with getting signed, what are they looking for? What is the perfect thing in a client? Strength. Strength how? Strength to know that your client doesn't need to sit on the phone with you for an hour and be talked off the ledge anytime anything goes bad. You know, where they can feel confident that they can say no, you know, like, or that someone can say no to you and you're gonna live, you know, like, and again, that's another thing going in with producers and so forth. That's how you get to pitch them again and again and again and again when they see, oh, I told them no and they said thank you. Thank you. Thank you for even considering my thing. You know, and then it takes the pressure off them. So, okay, they're used to being told no, they can handle it. And so, yeah, sure, I'll read your next thing. Like, they got to believe in you at first. They got to read something they believe in and are willing to read the next thing. But again, the more the less you be a fucking little baby about it and you need glitter, you know, every fucking day, the more people are going to trust you. Like, the more people are going to be like, oh, they can handle it. So that's it. I think that's a reasonable tip moving into 2021 when you're trying to get signed and all this stuff. Later.